Whether we're ready or not. Hey, everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome to The Ramble Presents Good Willow Hunting.
Good Willow Hunting.
A series where we try to get Cody to watch movies that we loved and see if he'll like them up until we get to Willow. But we've already teased that we're probably going to maybe might watch Willow and still keep this train going.
We teased that.
We tease. I don't know if it's going to
Unless
happen
there's a
or
revolt by the Ramble.
I think people lose interest.
They might. It's like when you can't have the Sam and Diane fuck on Cheers because no one's going to care anymore.
It's over.
No one cares. That's true. All right, you might be right, Cody. We
I
might
have a real will they won't they with
yeah,
Willow.
Jeez,
As soon as Cody fucks Willow, it's over.
It's
over.
And Jesus, corporate Ramble is begging for attention right now. This
Get out of
turd.
here, cat.
Follow your brother and sister's lead. Get the fuck out of here, Jack. Come on, that's fine. Hey, so today we're talking Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yes.
Last week we had Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure,
did.
which Cody gave a B-.
B-.
The passing grade.
Which means recommended.
Recommended.
Yes.
Like Bill and Ted themselves, their movie just passed. They just passed.
They just passed.
They came in and they were able to just
Bogus
pass.
Journey was actually my favorite of the two.
Yeah.
The two originals.
Here's what I loved about it. How fucking weird it was.
That's why I loved it so much.
It was, and it's a completely different movie. They didn't just have them go time travel again.
No, they go to hell. They go to
heaven and hell. Like, it's way different.
They die. They get killed.
15 minutes in the
killed.
use, they're dead. They kill them off.
Like, I loved that movie because
Yeah.
I was expecting another stupid time travel.
Right, and then you actually have a villain in this.
Yeah.
Who I love seeing the villain from Lethal Weapon 2. I was like,
Yes.
oh yeah, the guy from Lethal Weapon 2. But I loved how I loved that part. I loved how I just loved how different and weird it was. And I also love how they finally pay off, like when the guy from Faith No More screams Legion, or not Legion, Station. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then okay. Like, you finally, I like how that eventually paid off. Like, okay, just weird how,
And what they did, we talked about this before we recorded, about how, again, they took the main bad guy in the film and turned him into a comedic character.
They really did. The Grim Reaper steals this movie. It is
much the way Napoleon did in Excellent Adventure.
Yes, the Grim Reaper runs away with this, and and again, watching it again, I remembered. I laughed almost as hard as I did as a kid when he is just such a sore loser.
Yeah.
They're eventually playing Twister.
That's not the 5.
That's not the
7. Damn it!
He just keeps losing, and he's like a little kid.
But he's expected to play chess and shit, and they have him playing
Twister battle shit. And, well, that was a great riff on the Seventh Seal, right?
Yes.
That was a funny little parody of that.
Damn right.
And then that stupid football game with the magnetized little players, like, it was so dumb. But that's what would. And
that's how they got out.
And I think what's also funny about that is you already know how dumb Bill and Ted are.
Yeah.
And nobody's beaten death, but they have it there undefeated against him. Like, I think that's hilarious.
But no one challenged him to games that they could beat him.
Right, they could beat him in. Yeah, like it was.
They challenged him to death games.
It was really funny how
they kill. I mean, I don't know. And when he gets Melvined.
That was so stupid,
and
but
so
funny.
Melvined in front of God. And he was like, they melted him.
They melted me. Like, that was so dumb, but so. Yeah, that was. That was, but I did like that they decided to just let's not remake the first movie.
Yeah.
Right. Let's just go.
They didn't do that at all.
We're just gonna go. All right, this one went here. This one's gonna go way the fuck over here.
The movie completely wrapped. Like we said in the last episode, Excellent Adventure completely wrapped up.
Yeah.
They gave him the instruments. Rufus says they get better.
Yeah.
And then they end the movie.
It's over.
And you assume they get better and they save the world.
Right. And then now this
is a completely almost. I mean, it's just taken. It's almost like an alternate reality. Bill and Ted. Like, okay, what if this happened?
Right. What if
that movie still stands alone? But what if this happened?
And I thought what was interesting was just like how the stuff in hell. It almost feels like an avant-garde student film.
Oh yeah, like the small tunnel they're running through.
Yeah, that weird.
And you're facing these demons that you had.
Right. Like, it just everything about
like
that.
Bill's grandmother wanting a kiss, and
it looks like when if you get like a criterion of a David Lynch movie and you see one of his student films, you know what I mean? It's like that's how it came across.
Like I made a student film, and I was inspired by that montage. In Bogus Journey, I did a student film about a blind man who sneezes and gets his sight back.
Nice.
And he sees the world. He sees how ugly the world is.
Right.
He sees like how he can't dress right. Like he doesn't fit in the world. He fit in the world as a blind man. As a man with sight, he realizes
that's great.
And so he spends the rest of the movie trying to go blind again so he can go back to his normal life. And he has a nightmare sequence where he's like wrestling with his blind self, and he's got this he's in a headlock by a masked man, right? There's a masked man in a headlock. He's got him in a headlock, and he's like reaching for the rope, right? He's trying to get the rope so he can get but then he reaches back and he grabs the mask off, and he looks in the camera and it's him, but with the blind glasses on.
Oh, nice.
It's his blind self trying to get him to be blind.
Yeah.
And that whole sequence, I'm like, that's inspired me to do that based off of Bogus Journey over that one sequence in Purgatory.
It's just weird, but I liked it. I liked how weird it was. And I also thought like this movie really was like, fuck it, we're just gonna be. It was like, we're just gonna be weird. Like we had the poppy hit, we had pop music. Now we're just gonna do this is our experimental phase. Like we're just gonna like the station stuff is weird. Like why were they separate?
And then
like,
they smash
together. Why can't they just be that one big thing?
I do like the thing where they're like, you think the smartest person in the world
is on Earth, right? Yeah, that was great.
That was kind of cool.
And I do like that the one time they referenced the time travels at the end, where the villain kind of is one step ahead of him.
Yes.
You think where you did this, well I'll do this. You did this, I'll do. Yeah, like that was. Yeah, I really enjoyed that part of it. What else I like? The cameos. Primus having a cameo. That was great. The Faith No More's guitar is having a cameo. Pam Grier as the head of the Battle of the Bands was great. How does Primus lose to Bill and Ted in the Battle of the Bands?
What is Primus? If you look in the crowd, all of the extras are wearing Primus shirts. Right. Did you notice that?
I did not.
They go into it like they go into an away game and they win.
It was a bringer show.
Well, what are they doing at a Battle of the Bands at that point?
In San Dimas.
In San Dimas, California. Primus drove down
San
from
Dimas
San
Battle of the Bands, and they have to win that.
Primus drove in from San Francisco to be in this second. They had to. But it was. I wonder if the different actresses as babes was on purpose, or if that was as their medieval brides, the medieval babes.
Yeah.
The different actors, because it was only 2 years ago. Did they have to get new? Weird?
Maybe you never know, because maybe those were just hired as one-offs, and then the other ones, maybe some of them stopped acting. Maybe they wanted, since it's a bigger part, maybe they wanted.
Right, yeah, that's
better
true.
Actors. I don't know.
That's true. So, Cody, what did you think of Bogus Journey?
So here's my interpretation: is that the first movie was a success.
Yes.
And then they got like triple the budget.
Yes.
And decided to spend every single penny that they had. And try to show that they were spending every single penny.
Right. Yeah.
Because you have stuff like the robot Bill and Ted's. You have
the other robot Bill. There's
the good robot.
Yeah, the good and evil robots.
And the evil robot.
Yep.
So both robot Bill and Ted's. You have the weird like troll alien things. Station. You have all of these like. To me, it was just like, okay, well, we have money now, so let's just blow it all on like trying to stuff as many like special effects stuff as we possibly can.
Right.
So it certainly looks better as a result of having a big budget. That said, sort of what I was saying last time is that I think part of why it works is because they're high school kids and they're dumb and they're young and dumb and trying to do a report, and there's something kind of charming about that.
Sure.
Whereas this one, they've aged a few years and
they're out of high school.
But yet they're still kind of on the same wavelength as dumb high school kids.
Right.
And for me, the second they leave high school, it just stops working for me.
You don't care to see adults being that stupid.
No,
but it's only technically 2 years later. 89 was the first one. I guess was 91.
But I believe that it's supposed to take place like 4 or 5 years later.
5 years later. It's 5 years.
Yeah, in like movie time. So they're early 20s and stuff like that. And I think that it was just kind of more of the same for me in terms of the style of humor. It didn't even really feel like a continuation because it's not really the time travel type stuff. So it feels like, you're throwing these characters in just to another surrealist situation that didn't quite track for me as being like even part of the same series other than having these two characters.
That's why I thought like the first one stood alone, and this is just sort of like a what if.
A what if. It really feels like a what if Bill and Ted.
Because it doesn't follow any of the same.
No.
I mean, it's the same characters and it's a lot of the same dumb jokes, but it's way darker because like I said, they die in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, it is way like. Well, I think what's interesting too about Cody's point about the budget. It's funny how in the first movie that might have been just one of George Carlin's trench coats they asked him to wear, but in the second one he's got like this weird giant poofy outfit, and, like like it's just like it's interesting how they did what. But I did like how different it was. I did like that. I loved all the. Like the purgatory stuff is just weird as shit. It's great.
The whole death stuff.
The death stuff was hilarious.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that the best part of the movie, hands down, is William Sadler's death.
Oh man,
I think that's what carries the entire movie.
Oh,
for
I
me,
agree with that too.
I think anything before they meet death is for me didn't click for me.
Yeah.
And I think when they meet death, and then even having death in like the band and stuff like that is all just gold. I mean,
man, like
he comes out, does the rap.
Yeah, I agree, and I love the first part of it, but I do agree in the sense that like as a comedy, it beyond picks up when death becomes, you know what I mean?
Well,
like when
you already
they leave.
Know Bill and Ted being dumb is like, okay, we don't need another movie of that.
Right. As a comedy, it really goes through the when like that's what really helps it is when death.
You have that different dynamic. Now.
Yes, even him getting jealous about like I did the hair on the robots, like it's just like he was.
For me, I just didn't like the storyline of any of it. Like even though they're with death, I didn't like them going to heaven. I don't like the development of building the good Bill and Ted robot stuff.
Right.
It's just again really dumb humor, and I can't stress enough that when I say that the death stuff is gold, I mean specifically William Sadler.
Oh, he
because
is.
I don't think that Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter are that funny in this movie. I think it's all.
Oh, it's all Sadler.
It's all Sadler.
It's basically watching Sadler's death character go from high status to low status.
Yes.
He comes in that death sequence. When you first see him as death in the desert, you're like, this is creepy.
Yeah, it's creepy.
And then literally in 20 minutes, he's like begging for their attention.
Right. That's what's because you're right. Like, I mean, in part 2, even though I still really enjoyed it, and it might actually it might be my favorite one. Like, it is. You know who Bill and Ted are.
Yeah.
So that's like, okay, this joke, we've seen this, right?
But I think that's the genius of the movie, if you can say genius about Bill and Ted's movie, is they knew that you couldn't just do another Bill and Ted's movie.
Right.
You had to have another element in there, and they did that.
And I like how they took the Napoleon thing and just made it even weirder and
and
wilder.
William Sadler, of course, just knocks it out. Of the park
what I don't understand is, has he really done any other comedy besides the Bill and Ted stuff? Because he was great, but every time you see him, he's always he's a president in Iron Man, and it's like, wait, this guy, he was fucking hilarious as Death.
I don't know. Was he the bad guy in Die Hard 2? Was that him in Die Hard 2?
Yeah, he was in Die Hard 2. He was one of the, that's right.
He was the bad guy in Die Hard 2, wasn't he?
Like, he's just always known as like that but he was so fucking...
So I think that's why the casting was so good.
Yeah.
You see William Sadler's death, and you're like, oh, this is creepy. He's going to be bad.
He was one of the funniest parts of Face the Music. Like that whole scene where he had like 10-minute bass
I was so
solo.
excited when I saw he was coming back as Death for that movie. Like, okay, this movie has a chance.
Yeah, like just the fact that he talked about having 10-minute bass solos at their concert.
40 minute bass solo. 40-minute bass solo.
I mean, that's hilarious. Like he was still super funny in Face of Music. But yeah, like that thing I thought was really funny too was how well the actor who played Keanu Reeves' dad did the Keanu Reeves impersonation when he gets possessed by him, and then that other guy who was always a very serious actor who had him and Ted. Like that was just a funny little scene. Those two cops walking around as Bill and Ted.
And then you have Missy
minutes.
now, who's now divorced.
Yeah, now Missy's left.
And now married.
Bill's mom is now married Ted's dad. Like that. I like how they kept that Missy gag going, and they kept it going. And now she's with Deacon in part 3.
Oh,
like,
so good.
That was great. Like, yeah, I really enjoyed all.
I like Bogus. Like I said, it's my favorite of the two, the original two.
Yeah, it's just I liked how weird it was as a kid.
Except for the final song being a Kiss song. Other than that, it's I love that movie.
Can we give credit to Argent, who actually wrote and recorded that song? It was, and then Kiss just had to add that stupid "Everybody Why."
And they brought the time machine game back at the end.
Yes, that was fun.
That's a little callback, an homage to the first movie when
that
the
was
normalist
good.
pulls out the guns.
Right. And I love how he was Rufus's teacher.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You're my finest pupil." And you think it's something way grander, but he was just the PE coach of his. That was so dumb. I love that though. He was just a dickhead gym teacher who wanted to take over the world. Like that was. I thought that was, and then like I thought that actor played that great too.
Yeah,
like he was so evil in Lethal Weapon 2.
Yeah,
right. This evil racist piece of shit, and then in this he's getting Melvin, and it's like he plays it so well,
so good.
Oh,
I Melvined him.
Like it was just, man. Yeah, but Death being their bass player. Like joining the bit, like Death definitely saves the movie because, and that was the other thing too. Like it was almost like them just getting out of purgatory. What could have been the movie,
yeah,
like that, but it would have been like a short film. But like Death,
you
kind
could
of
have had the whole movie
it,
about them just coming back from death,
right?
But then you lose Death as the funny character,
trying
trying to get their attention and approval the rest of the movie.
I mean, that was just.
And then he breaks off, and then in the end credits, you see he went off on a solo.
He went off on a solo career, like that was really like, his ego took control, and oh man, that was that I really enjoyed Bogus Journey, and it was like it definitely. Again, you needed probably to have loved it. You needed to have been
probably
the target audience.
And you had to also be a fan of the original, I think, going into the second one.
Yeah, I don't think it was gaining any fans.
Right,
this one.
So.
Yeah, this is like a Trump rally. Nobody knew it was going to be going to one of these things. Like
you don't just wander into a Trump rally.
Yeah, you're not going to get new fans like that. So, Cody, your thoughts on Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey?
Yeah, not for me.
Yeah.
That's what I.
You didn't even like the weird shit in Purgatory. That didn't even just like
no, I didn't. I just again, like I said, I don't think that anything that Bill and Ted do are funny because I think the joke has worn out. By the end. And again, I watched them consecutively, so maybe if there were 2 years in between, but
sure.
I think that it's one joke for 90 minutes. I think Bill and Ted Bogus Journey. Well, I think that about both of the movies. In fact, and maybe even Excellent Adventure has it more, where it's just one joke for 90 minutes, where it's just like, okay, well, we're gonna gather a historical figure, and then they're gonna not be able to figure out how to function, and then we're gonna laugh at their adjustment, and then we're gonna have this thing at the end. And yeah, I just think it's the same joke over and over again.
To what we were talking about, again, I loved them, right? But it's funny how, like, to Cody's point, you could make the argument that if Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, like how I said, it was like imagine Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, right?
Yeah.
Like it almost feels like there was some classic 15-minute Looney Tunes cartoon where Bugs and Daffy Duck had to go through time.
Right. And they turned it into a movie.
And they said, why don't we just make a movie?
Let's
just stretch this out into a 90-minute movie. Like, you could make that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you could see that for sure.
And again, this also, this wraps up its story, too, the way Excellent Adventure did. It doesn't leave room for a sequel.
Right. There really doesn't.
This is the story.
This is it.
We're done with this.
Now they can play. They learn how to play their instruments. They come back. Now they have kids.
Yeah.
And they're just going to, like that was.
It was interesting.
It was interesting. I did like it a lot. Like, so what grade?
My favorite.
Does this get an F, Cody? Does this get a D? What does this get?
I gave it a C.
A C. All right.
Is that not recommended then?
That is not recommended. and then Bill and Ted Face the Music fell in between. So my order of preference would be Excellent Adventure, Face the Music, and then Bogus Journey.
Okay.
What did you think of Face the Music?
I enjoyed it.
I did too.
Because I enjoy these movies because I know what they are. Like I'm not expecting high cinema going to see a Bill and Ted's movie.
Right. Like I really enjoyed. I thought I was
it hit all the notes I wanted it to hit.
I just remember that Andre and I were just kind of smiling the whole time. Like this was just, I'm into this.
The only thing that bothered me about the movie, the only thing I felt like Keanu Reeves didn't buy into it.
Yeah,
I agree.
He
was the only one that I felt didn't buy into what he was doing.
Everybody just mailed it in.
Yeah.
It's almost as if he forgot how to do the character.
Yeah, I think so. He's so. But what's his face? Bill.
Alex Winters.
Alex Winters. He committed. He was balls to the wall with Bill.
Yep.
But I think Keanu forgot how to play Ted. He should have just watched his daughter in the movie play Ted.
She was
because
great.
She nailed it.
The daughters were hilarious.
She nailed Ted.
Yeah, the daughters were hilarious. The robot was fucking hilarious.
The robot is the best part of the movie.
And then Death is always
because you think he's just an evil robot. But when he first kills the dad, he's like, oh. I thought that was hilarious.
So I was reading a little bit about that, and the actor who played the robot
he's
apparently.
Great.
he got to like show up and just do whatever he wanted with the character, and you can tell because it's the guy. If anyone out there watches Barry, he plays Hank, NoHo Hank on Barry.
The funniest character in Barry. Oh man,
best part about Barry by far. And it's in like there's little bits and pieces because like he plays this like really kind of reluctant assassin in Barry, and it's the same sort of thing with the robot where he's just sort of really insecure and it's just very funny.
He wants everyone to know that he exists. Hi, my name's Dennis. He's like his name like that. That was so. I love that. And again, like I think whether I still think like I get your critique of Bogus Journey, but I still think that Death and was it Dennis? Was that the robot's name?
Dennis.
They're the two funniest characters in the franchise. I think.
I agree with that.
And I thought that I loved how they had a moment where Death is explaining how the tambourine isn't that easy to just pick up and play. Like I thought that was
the tambourine.
Yeah, I just like how Death.
Is
I just really thought that was hilarious. Like that was.
He sends him to go dance.
He sends him to go dance. Like that was. Oh man, I really enjoyed Face and Music. Yeah, I had fun. I was like, this is fun. This is definitely. I'm happy I saw it. I'll put it that way. I'm happy I saw it.
I would definitely put the Bill and Ted franchise in the pantheon of franchises where I think if you grew up with it, I get it.
Right.
I think if you didn't grow up with it, it's really hard to latch onto.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
It's
like
definitely a product of its time.
Oh yeah. It really is. It's what I did like was how the new one, it still felt like it would have been a movie I would have just loved back in '89. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Had
that come out like. I think the first one came out in '89, then '91. If that one came out in like '93,
I'd have been like,
But you guys didn't have any problems with seeing these characters as 50-something.
I thought it was hilarious.
No. It was just so weird for me at the.
See, that's what I liked about it. I liked that.
Maybe that's what Keanu Reeves was trying to do with the character.
I think he really was. I think
play him a little more beaten down.
Yeah, I think that I really because I disagree about him mailing it in. I really think that he was just playing him like because he seems to be the one who's like, well, we haven't written the song yet. Yeah. Like, are you sure? And I think
it was weird seeing against Alex Winters playing Bill,
right.
going full Bill from the first two movies.
But I see Bill is also like the ultimate optimist. Right, and so he's just that's why
I guess if you look at it that way, if that's what Keanu Reeves was
I think he was more playing it as like because then the daughter, they're both the same because they're so optimistic. Whereas Keanu, and because again, you see he's the one who starts drinking, right? Like Ted is the one who has the drinking problem, and that's kind of his
I guess
life.
If you look at it that way,
yeah, that's why I think I think he was just playing him as like
more beaten down.
Kind of like should we really still be doing this? But I did think it was funny how they were still they weren't stoners. You've never seen them do one drug ever, and they're just dumb as shit. Yeah. I thought that was hilarious. Like,
they don't drink, they don't do drugs.
They're just dumb. I really didn't mind seeing them because I think it really pays off when they're pretending to be successful and British in Dave Grohl's house. I thought that was a hilarious scene when fucking Bill's got that stupid Robert Plant hair, all that. Like, I just thought that was, really funny. And I also like how just because they broke into Dave Grohl's house, the cops show up with like shoot to kill orders. Like, we don't give a fuck.
Dave Grohl came home, was like, oh fuck it, and then
and then
he calls the cops.
I really like that part about it. But I really thought he was playing him as just maybe this isn't for, maybe are we sure we should still be trying to write this song?
I guess if you look at it that way, I didn't think of it that way, but maybe that's possible.
Because wasn't he the one who tried to pawn one of his guitars?
Yeah.
That was, you could tell he was just kind of like,
But he's also the one but Bill was the one in Bogus Journey is like, we need to learn how to play.
Right.
He was the one who's like, we need to learn how to play.
We need to learn how to play. Yeah. But I think, again, Bill always has his eye on the prize. And Ted is just ready to go along with him. Yeah. But I think it was, and one thing I think is very understated about that I've never heard anyone mention is how funny that Ted is. His middle name is Theodore.
Ted
Theodore
Logan.
Theodore Logan.
I
think that's hilarious.
Bill S. Preston Esquire.
Yeah, Ted Theodore Logan. I just like how his middle name is Theodore. Like Ted Theodore Logan kills me like that. I don't know why. That makes me laugh every fucking time.
Billy D. Williams is
William D. Williams. Oh man. So yeah, I thought that was great. But and now might as well. We'll probably, I don't know if we'll talk about this on the Ramble radios that you've already heard, But what would you? So you say Face of Music falls in between them. That's how you put it. You go Excellent Adventure, Face of Music, Bogus Journey. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Cool.
To me, they are all hovering around A minus B plus. That's where I put
can
them
watch
all.
any of them at any time.
Yeah, and I'd be happy. Yeah, there we go. Well, there we go. Another Good Will Hunting. Next Good Willow Hunting.
Yeah.
We finally go to the Val Kilmer 2-pack of Heat
Ooh.
and Top Secret. Isn't that what we're going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I haven't seen Top Secret in a while.
Yeah. Cody, you excited for this?
I am. I've actually Heat is something I've been wanting to watch for years, and I mean it's 3 hours long, so I was always like not wanting to commit to it.
It's a watch.
It's a watch. It is Michael Mann.
It's Michael
saying,
Mann.
"Fuck you, editor."
Being the Michael Mann.
Yeah, I don't need
he's
an
ever
editor.
been.
It really is, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
that is, man. But fuck, it's now one thing that before we had to tease Heat, it was actually a pilot that he made. It was going to be a television show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was going to be an L.A. version of Miami Vice. It was going to be called L.A. Takedown or something like that. And a lot of the scenes like that you see footage from the pilot, and it's shot for shot. But instead of two, no-name actors, it's De Niro and Pacino. But he filmed the whole thing that it never got made. But so he's like, "Fuck it, I'll make a movie." And you can see a lot of he took a lot of the same
Poor no-name actors.
I know, at least have him in this. Make him part of
the gang.
Make him part of the gang.
Crew.
Either one, make him part of Pacino's cops or De Niro's robbers.
That sucks for those guys.
Yeah, that was there we go. But so there we go. Tune in. When we appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. You know where to find us. Please follow us on all of our social medias. Please listen to all of our podcasts that we love to do for you. Good Willow Hunting, rocking and rolling,
baby.
Do we do trades?
Do we trade?
Let's do some Bill and Ted trades. That's kind of our thing, right? Let's do
Who would we
Bogus
trade?
Journey, Excellent Adventure.
But you have to trade between the two movies.
Yeah, shit. Man. I mean, I give you everyone for Death.
Well, Death. You put Death in Excellent Adventure. It won't make any sense.
Won't make any sense.
Story-wise.
That's a problem.
Yeah, I feel like Death has a no trade clause here.
He had that signed
William
in.
Sadler could play a character.
That would be interesting.
Would be funny.
I don't know if you could. You might not be able to.
William Sadler is Napoleon.
Yeah. A 6'3" Napoleon.
Blonde hair,
blue-eyed, 6'3" Napoleon. Like that.
I don't know. Whoever played Napoleon was good.
That guy, that was weird. I never saw that dude. I wonder if he really was some actor from France. I don't know. But I never saw him in anything else. It was so weird that I remember, of course.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if you can do any trade. I mean, it's the same basic cast in both movies.
yeah, I guess this is kind of untradeable.
It's
isn't
untradeable.
It?
I think these teams
it
are
really
set.
is. I was a little bummed not seeing Napoleon in Face of Music. That would have been nice. If
Yeah, it would've been funny. If he just popped in somewhere.
Yeah, but I did like how Kid Cudi is station. That was really funny. I thought that was I was wondering if there's going to be any station anywhere mentioned, and then you should get the hint because Kid Cudi is talking about just astrophysics and metaphysics and all this, and then you're like, oh shit, of course he's stationed. I thought that was fantastic. But, all right, well there we go. No trades in. We can't do trades.
It's untradeable.
On this
These movies are untradeable.
It's going to be really weird to do trades between Heat and Top
Secret. I have some ideas.
I do too. I
Some
think.
ideas. I think you can make Heat better with some
Chocolate mousse and Heat. I think if you latrine and Heat.
You put latrine and
He
Heat.
warns him about the cops coming.
Yeah.
Latrine.
He's always shot.
Yeah, Cody. That's it. That's all we're gonna say. There we go. Yeah, but Top Secret and Heat, the next 2 episodes of Good Willow Hunting. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.